darwin.Cloud now has enhanced automation that enables you to much more accurately classify online payments that stream into Darwin daily. For QuickBooks users, you need to enter bank charges, debit charges, and automatic online payments manually into QuickBooks when you get your bank statement. According to the Institute of Management Accountants, your bookkeeper is probably spending about 10 hours on this each month. At today's wages, that means you're spending hundreds of dollars per month on a job that could be done automatically. Now, if you use the streaming banking data in QuickBooks or earlier versions of Darwin, you definitely save many hours of work each month, but the accuracy of the automation was limited. When classifying the streaming bank charges in QuickBooks, here are the limitations that make your financials not as accurate as they need to be. First, only one expense account is allowed per charge. Second, you can't easily confirm the expense account being used because you can't see it. Whenever you want to see how QuickBooks is expensing a charge, you have to click on the screen to be able to see the expense account, and that just wastes time. Next, you can't assign classes. Before I forget, for all you QuickBooks users that are switching to darwin.Cloud, AccountTECH doesn't use the term classes. In Darwin, classes are called offices. Anyway, this limitation is a significant problem. Many bank charges made by debit card or online payment will need to be expensed to multiple different GL accounts and multiple different offices. Prior versions of Darwin did allow charges to be expensed to the correct office, but it only allowed one office for each charge. But the new darwin.Cloud solves all these problems. It offers everything a CFO needs to get any expense automatically classified to multiple GL accounts and multiple offices. Let's look at how this works. First, when you're making a rule for automatic expense classification in darwin.Cloud, you have three options: single line, multi-line, and billing group. We're going to do training on each of these in depth, but to start, let's look at single line and multi-line. Single line is what you are most used to seeing in Darwin. To start, you can add a memo that you want added automatically whenever a charge comes in from this supplier. Next, you add the GL account, the office you want to charge. And remember, if this charge is a reimbursable charge that needs to be invoiced to an agent or some Fannie Mae REO property, you can expense it for automatic invoicing right here. Then you pick the supplier. And at the end you can also link this expense to one of your profit centers, or division, which is what we call profit centers in AccountTECH. Now, this is how you would enter any expense that is always for just one office and just one GL account. At the bottom, you spell out which part of the description from the bank should be used for matching the charge to the rule. And that's all you need to do for a single line expense rule. But what if some charge, coming in automatically from the bank, needs to get split up between multiple offices and multiple GL accounts? Darwin.Cloud now handles this type of advanced expense breakdown using a multi-line rule. Let's look at how that works. First, just like before, you can add a memo that you want added automatically whenever a charge comes in from this supplier. Then you enter the supplier. Now what you have is a screen that looks just like the screen you have when you are entering a bill in the accounts payable section of Darwin. To get more screen space, you might want to minimize the panel on the right side with this little button here. As you look at the screen, you will notice that the big difference here is that instead of an amount column, you have a percent column. That's how you make a multi-GL account or multi-office expense rule. You list here all the GL accounts and offices that you want to use for automatic expense classification. And you put a percent next to each line. Then, in this way, it won't matter what the amount is that comes in from the supplier. Whatever amount comes in from the bank, the charge will get broken down according to these percentages. Finally, at the bottom, you put the instructions for what text should be used for matching to this rule. And that's it. There are more training videos about bank stream automation for bank charges and credit card charges. In particular, look for videos on these topics. Making rules for bank charges that need intercompany accounting. making rules on the fly from the list of new bank charges, creating complex rules for credit card expenses. And watch the video for how you approve bank charges for posting or adjust them before posting if you need to.